Man, I think this is gonna be a bit more tricky than the other two videos. Anyhow, together with a special guest, our World War Army USSR advisor, we will be looking at USSR faction as it is now and talking about important points and notes relating to playing USSR effectively. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I post replays and useful info videos for World War Army. This month we are looking at all the factions in hope that it can assist players, especially newer ones, to play the factions more effectively. This video will conclude this series. However, I do have a few things planned which I will talk about it more at the end of the video. But for now, let me touch on a few points relating to USSR faction, and then we'll hear more from our advisor Domazas. So, USSR, to me, I feel that this faction's winning condition relies more on its general ability compared to the other factions, especially rapid resupply. And so later on our advisor will share more on how and why. I think the next point I will raise is that no, tractor is not overpowered. So I have videos in this channel showing how to deal with tractor easily and effectively. So do check that out. And I think that's all I got to say. The rest our advisor will cover. And welcome our advisor Domazas.
Hello, Domazas here, the Soviet advisor. Currently I am Brigade General and I play since beta. I know about Soviets since the moment they were introduced the game, and as we know they're the third and the last faction you unlock. To funny surprise, they're at the same time the most free-to-play option, as you can make a decent deck using only common and uncommon cards. As we know, the units cost less to deploy than other factions, so they receive veterancy much faster compared to other factions. At the same time, they have the most expensive tier up price compared to other factions. It just so enemies wouldn't be overrun as fast as playing with other factions, as Soviet playstyle is being aggressive and trying to push enemy as hard as possible. It's fine to lose some units. As of current 1.3 patch, it's advised to use the flamers and suicide them, but it's gonna get fixed in the future, and if we look in the future, they would still be considered usable. At the same time, from the tier 1, using the engineers, despite they are the worst in fixing ability, they still are engineers and can save your life, as we know you can fix the base from getting destroyed. So the strategy best would be survive the tier 1, as at the same time tier 1 Soviets have the worst tier 1, as their units lack range compared to other factions. And once you go to tier 2, you unlock much more options to make enemy life harder, as you have cheap tanks, cheap trucks, just to keep pushing and pushing more out of the base. And usually it's advised to try to save, as tier 3 also the most expensive, to get to the tier 3, as the most menacing unit is Kiwi 2. Despite slow, it's quite accurate for its slowliness as its biggest drawback. So For my advice, as of now, to have engineers, have flamers, have one medium tank. I advise to use T-34 as you can chase down enemy vehicles such as Vespe or a Priest, because other tanks are incapable of chasing them. As a tier 3 unit, I suggest use both available units, the Kiwi 2 and Yisu 152, as they are great addition to the deck. As my favorite unit, it would be the Kiwi 2 because of its versatility and just crush enemy all possible units attacking it, and it's a little challenging to kill it. And usually the most basic strategy would be to drag up the game and win by destroying enemy base, which is double Kiwi 2. Now Kiwi 2 and Yisu 152. You can possibly, if you have units, because of current meta, try to attack using Flame Tank and Flamers as its current meta, and we just call this time of period barbecue season, because whenever we can, we just try to burn somebody while playing with Soviets. Second, my favorite unit is armored soldiers. So they rather have much health, and they have quite good range and quite good accuracy. So they can combat enemy Jaggers 1 versus 1, and they're really great at killing other infantry. So as of general, we have ability Scourge Earth. So basically it's just spammable ability. Whenever you see enemy trying to capture a point, just push it, do it, just as much as possible, be as annoying as possible, so enemy attention would constantly be occupied by taking and inflicting as much damage as possible. The second ability, which is make unit invulnerable, or we used to call previously Stalininium armor, which just allows unit to survive the shots while the ability is active. So it's basically your second spammable ability to make sure you save your units, so you continue growing up your veteran status, so you would save up more resources, so you would get to tier 3 as fast as possible, so you can unleash the beast, the Kiwi 2, to the field, better 2 if possible, and send them straight to enemy base. And if your economy better, they usually do not have anything on how to defend the base, because how menacing they are. So the third ability, which is gain resources, rapid resupply. So depending on what your game plan, you would never use it in tier 1 because it gives the least resources, and it's like you're announcing you almost lost because it gives only 500 and it doesn't really make a big change in battle. As tier 2 you get 1,000, so unless you're certain you're gonna win, only then you should do it. But it's best to save it because it has a very long cooldown, and have an advantage, you better use it at tier 3, as it gives 1050 resources, just enough to get you that heavy tank, which would make quite difference. So once more patches arrive, Soviets currently getting more and more extra units. I believe more changes will be, which will be mentioned. So that's it. Thanks you people for listening, and see you in the battlefield.
So many thanks to our USSR advisor Domazas again for giving the time to do this and for the many pointers. And yes, this video concludes this month's weekly specials on the factions in the game. Next month, I have specials planned out as well, but I have not decided which to do. There are suggestions on making videos on how to micro, and I was thinking about maybe making videos talking about early game, mid game, and late game dynamics. Yeah, I'm also planning a new series, especially for our newer players to the game, so stick around for that too. There is the Halloween event coming up soon, as well as 2v2 beta. I'll definitely try to make videos on that too. And yeah, I think that's all for now. Subscribe to be notified when all of this gets uploaded. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye.